Hey guys, it's Gretchen and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I really don't quite know the direction I want to take with this video, but I did want to talk about tattoos. So I did last week planning your first tattoo. Well, for this video, I want to discuss not necessarily planning a large tattoo, but being prepared for one. So recently I had my first really large piece done. And if you follow me on Twitter or Instagram or even Snapchat, though I'm not sure if Snapchat is actually showing my stories, but on Instagram and Twitter, I've posted a picture of my large tattoo, and I'll post a picture here so you can see him. Toward the end of the video, I'll even stand up so you can see it in person. It itches terribly right now, so I'm sitting here with the backs of my nails just trying to do this. You're not supposed to scratch a tattoo, but just lightly doing that makes it feel a little better. Or tapping it. But my nails are long enough and they're nice and smooth that I can kind of glide over them like that without hurting it. So the point of this is to discuss how you might experience a large tattoo with a small tattoo, like say this little guy right here, or even this little guy here, or this one here. They're done quickly. And so your body doesn't really have long enough of a time to react, if that makes sense. Like, you feel pain, you may feel other sensations, but I have discovered that with prolonged tattooing time, that your body reacts differently to the actual act of the tattoo. So I'm going to discuss how my body reacted to pretty much its first large tattoo. Now, I do have another big tattoo, but compared to this guy on my thigh, it's a small fry. And then this compared to my thigh tat is just nothing. It looked like someone sneezed on me. So this is my first rather large scale tattoo. He is a tiger. He is surrounded by irises because it's kind of like my little homage to Louisiana. I've mentioned before that I've gotten both of my master's degrees from Louisiana State University, and LSU has a live mascot. He's Mike the Tiger. And when I was a student there, it was a different Mike. That Mike unfortunately passed away to cancer. They do have a new one and he's so cute too. I love tigers. So I wanted to do something that was tiger related, but I also kind of wanted to give a little nod to Louisiana. So the iris is the state wildflower, and this tiger in particular, you can see his markings all over his face, and they're actually the same as Mike when I was a student, not the current Mike, the Mike then. It took 2 sessions total to do this tattoo. I will say I expected a lot from me and my body. I thought I could sit there like a champ and put the whole thing out in one session. I quickly learned that was not gonna happen. And I felt like crap because I tapped out. I never thought I would have to tap out of a tattoo, but I did. So that first session was probably the most grueling thing I've encountered tattoo-wise. So the first session consisted of all the outline and some color. If I had been smart enough to kind of plan ahead, I would have said, let's just do line work for the first session, that's it. Let's just cut it off there. Because I was already feeling a whole lot of pain after the line work. But I was like, no, I want to get this done. I want to get this over with. Let's go ahead and do it. And so we started on color. And I think I pushed myself so hard that my body just freaked the heck out. And one of those ways that it freaked the heck out was temperature, my body temperature. 1 minute, I was sweating bullets. I was so hot. I thought I was gonna have to strip right there in the tattoo shop. I kept saying to the artist, I was like, we've got to turn the air down, or we got to get a fan in here. I'm burning up. I was also at that point feeling really nauseous. Like it took everything for me not to vomit. Then all of a sudden, in like the next instant, I was freezing. I was asking for blankets. I was taking a hoodie that I had brought with me and wrapping it around me. I was so cold, despite the fact that it was like 72 degrees in the shop, which At my house, it's normally 74, and to me, that's chilly. At that point, I should have realized that my body was like, we have to stop. Something's wrong. Your body doesn't know what to do. But I was like, no, I'm gonna push through. I'm gonna finish this. Da, 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 da. Guess what? I didn't finish it. Nope, and I still felt like shit. We took 2 breaks during that first session. Took 2 breaks total during the first session. One was directly after the line work. And then we took a smallish break, kinda sorta, in the middle of starting the coloring. So we'd done the line work, took a break. Started some coloring, noticing that my body was reacting weirdly. I was like, can we take another 5-minute break? I just need to stretch. She's like, that's fine, I need to stretch too. So I got up and stretched, started back again. I think maybe we only went at it for another 15, 20 minutes before I was like, I have to stop. I don't know what's going on. My body's spazzing out. I just feel ill. And I don't know if there's an actual term for that. So any tattoo people out there that know if I'm describing something or if this is just my body being weird as hell. But it was such a weird sensation because some of the spray and some of the soap that my artist used had like a little bit of a numbing agent in it, and my body was still hurting. Like even with that numbing agent, it just got progressively worse. I was also finding something that was really hurting, which shouldn't have hurt, and it did in the second session, so that kind of shows you something, was you know how the artist, well, if you're not a tattoo person, you don't know this, but the artist will have a paper towel. It'll be a little damp, and when they're tattooing, they'll wipe every so often to kind of get excess ink out of the way so that they can see what has actually taken to the skin. That was hurting. Just the wiping of the skin was hurting. I should have realized at that point, yo, something as simple as paper towel is hurting you, you gotta cut it out. The pain was just, it got to a point of being unbearable. And that's where I felt like I failed myself by not realizing, hey, you just can't, you can't do this in one shot. You physically are unable to. There are plenty of people that can do 6, 7, 8, 10. I think I've heard people do 10-hour sessions before. Like, more power to y'all that can do that. And more power to the artist for being able to sit there and do that, because, yeah. So the first session for me was roughly, it was past 3 hours, and I was hurting. I honestly don't know what changed between that first session and the second session, because my second session was also roughly 3 hours, and I was fine. Yeah, I hurt a little bit by the end. Every kind of touch at the end was starting to twinge a little bit, if that makes sense. But it was nothing like that first session. I don't know what was going on with my body in that first session, but it was hurting. It was letting me know I wasn't listening, and then it just got progressively worse. So what I'm getting at with this, 10 minutes later recording on my camera, is that when you're going in for a large tattoo, really know your body. Really understand what you are capable of tolerating, and even ask your artist or the scheduler at the shop where you're making your appointment, be like, hey, how can we break this tattoo up into sessions if need be? If you think I can sit there for 4, 5, 6, 7 hours and be perfectly fine, then go for it. But I should have known that after line work, my body would have been like, you gotta knock it off. That's it. Unfortunately, I didn't, because I've never gotten something this size before. Like my other longest one was the crystal on my leg, and that was about 2 hours. It wasn't that bad. The one on the back of my neck took, I think I've mentioned before that it took 5 hours, but I'm pretty sure the guy was like brand new to tattooing and was very meticulous about every stroke that he made. So we weren't actually tattooing the full 5 hours. That's how long I was there. But I did go back for a second session. I wasn't supposed to have it until July because this artist books up super fast, but she had a cancellation and they were like, can you come in? I'm like, I'm gonna make it happen. So I did. First session was at the very end of April, second session very end of May, and he is all done. He is very flaky today. I am gonna show you what he looks like right now in real time. So he is still very flaky because he's only a little bit over a week old. So we're still going through the flakiness. All the excess ink has sloughed off by this point. It's just flakiness now. So I wash it twice a day and I put moisturizer on it 3 to 4 times a day. Still a little tender in some spots, but only like on the inner thigh. Also, please excuse my chunky monkey thigh. How it goes. So let me show you my tiger. So as you can see, it's like his bust. He's got his paws there and he's surrounded by flowers. That's kind of this artist's shtick. She's really well known for her animals. I'm going back to her in July for a squirrel tattoo, which I'm super excited about. I haven't decided where it's gonna go yet. Thinking my forearm, but you can see that he's surrounded by flowers and they're very colorful and bright. Not the typical iris look, but we decided to do some artistic license with it. I absolutely love it. I think the colors really stand out and contrast against his I didn't do it. I think the colors of the flowers really stand out and contrast against his orange and black and white fur. I can't wait for the flakiness to be done because it's just so stinking bad. Like, I'll sit there at work and just like tap my leg because it itches so bad, but whew. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you are planning on a large tattoo, perhaps plan on multiple sessions. Also, money. If you're short on funds, you might want to break it up into sessions so that way you can break up how much it costs. I know it helped me to be able to do that. I could have paid for it all outright. It just would have hurt my wallet way more because I had 2 paychecks between the time I got my first session and my second session. So it kind of helped me in that regard as well. But I'm not telling you how to plan your tattoos or what you should do, but just more of a keep this in mind. This is my experience with a large tattoo, and I'm sure others have had similar experiences. No one has the same experience, I've said that before, but maybe planning to have multiple sessions will make it more bearable. That way you'd be like, all right, so today's session, we're doing line work, that's it. If I feel like I can do more, maybe we can do more depending. But then that way you're not feeling obligated to try and finish it up in one instant, one shot. I think I may have had a better experience if I had thought of it that way. But I honestly thought I could sit there for 6-7 hours and be perfectly fine. And I've learned that I can't. 3 hours is like my limit. After that 3-hour mark, my body starts to go like, nope, you're done. If you have any questions regarding my experience with a larger tattoo, again, I just really like tattoos, so I am not an expert. If you've got true concerns, might want to talk to an artist. Again, everyone's body is different. Everyone reacts differently to tattoos, so this is just my experience. If anyone else has had a similar experience that I had, like the hot and the cold and then the aches and the nausea and stuff like that, let me know in the comments below so I don't feel so alone. I was definitely feeling alone there. I did feel a little bit better though. My artist said that I was tough enough to stick it through some color in that first session. She's like, I would have tapped out after the line work. And I'm like, all right, so if the artist is saying that, I feel a little bit better, but not much. But that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big old thumbs up. Go on down there and hit that subscribe button wherever it may be because I would really, really appreciate it. And until next time, bye guys.